Hi fantasy managers, welcome to FPL Team Talk. The fixtures are coming thick and fast. The deadlines are pretty short between game week 18 and 19. So I've put together my team selection and my transfer plans all in one video. So if you enjoy this content, give it a like. Don't forget to subscribe. And in the meantime, let's take a look. Let's have a quick recap of how I got on in game week 17. And I'm pretty happy. I ended up with 97 points. I can lament about the fact that Akanji didn't get the clean sheet. De Bruyne didn't end up sort of giving me any points either. But do you know what? Overall, absolutely brilliant. I can't complain. I chose not to have Martinelli in the end because I think he would have sat on my bench. That was a fairly decent decision. I would not have played him over De Bruyne any day of the week anyway. Mitrovic, I went Martial, and I think his fixtures going forward look better anyway. So all in all, I can't complain. Kane scoring was great. Martial, Rashford, Mount was a real bonus as well with great fixtures coming up. And Shaw keeping that clean sheet was brilliant. Kepa doing the business and Trippier doing what he does. So all of that was really good. The one blot on it, I guess, was Reece James coming off another 7 minutes. He would have got the clean sheet as well. But longer term, he now looks a bit of an issue for me. So looking at the next game week, we have Reece James an issue. But the rest of the side looks really well set up. Would you expect it should be, given we've just had limitless transfers and time to look at this side and put it into place? So Reece James, obviously we've heard that he's going to be out, and we'll cover that in a second. But he comes out, he goes onto the bench, and I go in 3-4-3 with Haaland, my captain. I don't see any other choices. Even if I had Salah, I don't think at home to Leicester's enough for me to captain him over Haaland. So Haaland just gets the nod pretty much every day of the week. It's difficult to see many situations where he's not going to get that captain's armband, if I'm honest. But the problem I have is Reece James and also Patterson. Patterson has a very undesirable fixture away at Manchester City. If Akanji, I don't think Shaw's will get rested. Trippier will get rested. Akanji potentially could get some rest, and so could Shaw. You'd hope not, and you'd think not, but if they do, Patterson has to come in because I've only got 3 playing defenders because Reece James is now out. So that gives me an issue. I didn't want to plan a transfer in. I did not want to do it straight after limitless transfers. I would rather set this side up. It should be good for 2 weeks and then move into the next game week 19. Knowing I've got 2 transfers to play around with, having looked at what's happening. I don't think I've got that luxury anymore because, like I said, if Akanji will come out, then I'm just for Patterson in. That's the last thing I need. Going on to Reece James, and when I put this together earlier on in the day, we hadn't had news about him being out for 4 weeks. All we had was the fact that Potter had said that it was too early to tell. Next 24, 48 hours we'll know more. It looks like in the same knee. We're not too concerned, or we hope it's not going to be too bad. But it's come out tonight that he's going to be out for 4 weeks. So 5.8, as good as he is, so many fixtures that are good for Chelsea, I don't want to be holding on to him. It doesn't look like his price is going to go down anytime soon, but I'll have to keep an eye on that. Certainly not tonight. But 5.8, he gives me a problem because of the other players I have in my defence and Patterson playing away Man City. Don't get me wrong, he wouldn't be the end of the world if Patterson played, but if I've got a transfer, I could look at some other players. And one player I'm looking at is Cucurella. He seems the obvious choice. Away at Forest, and you've got Fulham away. Man City at home, granted, is not a great fixture. Palace then at home, and then Liverpool, and then Fulham at home. There are 3 or 4 great fixtures there in the next 5 weeks. That's good enough for me to want to get on board with that Chelsea defence. Cucurella seems the obvious choice. So far this season, he's played 14 games. Hasn't got any goals, 2 assists, and his XGI is not the best. In putting that in sort of context, it's around about the same as Cancelo's, but nowhere near the same as Robertson or Trippier. So I'm not expecting too much in terms of goal input or output from Cucurella. One thing that will go in his favour is it's a little bit cheaper than Reece James, so it does free up some cash for me. He started 6 out of the last 8, so by no means is he absolutely nailed on. Those fixtures that we looked at, I've already said look great, and he does have that double game week. Yes, he saves me some money. The other choice I have, which I don't think is a real differential, so bear with me on this, is Chalobah. Now, Chalobah has played 9 games this season. He's got no sort of goal involvement or contribution whatsoever, and his XGI is even worse than that of Cucurella. So I'm not expecting too much in terms of goals or creative force from him. What I will say for him is he obviously is a little bit more cheaper than Cucurella. I'm saving $1 million on him when I go down from Reece James. So he is cheap, The one thing as well, when Reece James was injured early on in the season from game week 9, he came straight in for the next 7 fixtures and played every single game. The moment Reece James came back in game week 17, he was out again. And at the weekend, or earlier in the week, when James was injured, Azpilicueta came on, which was a bit of a worry, but then Chalobah came on as well. So he has been rested. That's the other thing that you could say. It is a risk, I think, with Chalobah 4.7. It does look encouraging, the fact that he's just played every minute when Reece James is out. It just feels like, looking at the data, he's just a direct replacement for James. If there's anyone out there who looks at Chelsea or Chelsea fans that knows more than I do about that and his chances of playing, let me know in the comments below. But on the face of it, he looks like he could be a potential replacement for James. Remember that Chilwell's out as well, and I can't see Thiago Silva, even in peak condition that he is in, playing every minute of every game over this festive period. They've got a lot of games to put in. So surely Chalobah's got a decent chance of playing, and so has Cucurella. Do I just bite the bullet and go Cucurella for the extra 0.4? Though he himself is not nailed, as we've seen. So I do have a decision to make. The other choice I could go for is Matip. I'm just not sure I'm 100% convinced that Matip will play every game as well. And the fixtures aren't quite as appealing as Chelsea's. So if James comes out, I could play Cucurella, or for the time being, I'm going to say it's going to be Chalobah. And that changes my formation a little bit. Out will come Andreas. Chalobah will make up a 4-3-3. If Akanji, for whatever reason, Chalobah didn't play or Shaw didn't play, then Andreas would come in. And Patterson is just left as a last play replacement on the bench, and hopefully won't play at all, because we don't know the news about Somerville yet. But 4.4, don't mind benching him. So I'm certainly pressed the button on this yet. So let me know what you think: Chalobah or Cucurella, or is there a better option still? That's it for this one then, guys. Let me know in the comments below, who are you going to captain in game week 18? Is it as obvious as I've made it? Is there another option? And who do you intend to bring into your sides? Can you think of any replacement for Reece James that I have not covered? In the meantime, good luck with the rest of your game week, and I shall speak to you soon.